Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Nanda Kania Meitri. You can call me Nanda. I'm from PPI. I will explain my channel. The title is The Use of Snack Attack Short Movie for Writing Formative Assessment on Recontext. In learning English, students have to master 4 skills: science listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Researchers want to discover the process of student formative assessment in writing using Watch the Short Movie. Formative assessment is a learning outcomes assessment that aims to find out to what extent students have from following predetermined teaching goals after they have followed the learning process within a certain time. This formative assessment is usually carried out in the middle of the course of the teaching program. In school, these formative assessments are commonly known as daily tests. Research method. The design research use descriptive qualitative research. In this study, the target population was the student at the 10th grade student of MA Salafiyah Pekalongan in the academic year of 2019-2020. This consists of student research use descriptive qualitative research in collecting the data. In fact, the researcher took 2 actions in collecting data, namely offline and online, because at the time, the beginning of the new normal, and school could be started offline or face-to-face with a schedule of 1 week of science and 1 week of social, with 30 minutes of learning time. Then the researcher collecting data by explaining the recontact material first, and then distribute the test instrument, and for the short movie was distributed via WhatsApp. And then 2 days later, the researcher returned to school to take the instrument the test. Technique of analyzing data: giving a test, analyzing generic structure, analyzing language feature, and analyzing interviews. The findings of my journal. From this research, the researcher got the research result based off the student ability in writing recontext that the student already knew the types of text that had been taught by the teacher. The student also understood the recontext material, but students had difficulties when students got the task to make recontext constraints that students face when writing. Namely, students do not know the meaning and the limited of vocabulary that students have, and students are not used to opening dictionary even when there is an English lesson. The score obtained: many students already understand the storyline in the short movie, so the students are able to retell it use their language because they have interest in learning using video media, especially in short movie. Students feel quickly understanding the meaning of the story, even though they do not actually understand what was said in the video, but in score mechanic and grammar they receive very little because there was many errors in the writing, spelling, and punctuation they used. The teacher had understand what the students were writing. Finally, the vocabulary score of that was quite good, but again there were many mistakes in writing. The score that researcher got was from the student ability when writing. The student got a varied score. That is, there were those who got a score 35. There were 5 students. Score 50. There are 2 students. Score 60. There is 1 student. 65. There are 2 students. And score 75. There are 6 students. And the last score 95. There are 2 students. Discussion. The use of sneak attack and short movie for writing formative assessment on the context. The first student's perspective. The use of sneak attack, a short movie in learning media, makes students not bored and makes students have to be more careful and understand the meaning in the video, even though students still have difficulty writing because students do not know the meaning and write that correct. The second, the teacher perspective. The use of short movie media in learning process can make it easier for students to understand the context material. The student achievement in formative assessment of writing in the context. The first, content. The content in writing assessment can be said to be an idea. Students write ideas or language creativity to rewrite after they have seen the short movie. Based on the table content, students relevant in retelling the short movie. Is relevant to the topic and easy to understand. Organization. The effectiveness of introduction, logical, chronological order of ideas, compatibility, and conclusion. The logical, chronological order the ideas students write most of the sentences are related to the main idea. But there are students who answer several sentences related to the main idea because the students do not understand the storyline of the short movie, and the short movie itself has no subtitles, so students must really pay attention so that students can be able to conclude or rewrite the short movie. Mechanic. Spelling. Students use punctuation in writing. Students still have difficulty in writing after they have seen and heard. There are still many errors such as spelling, capitalization, and punctuation that make difficult to understand because it's not their daily language. Students only write what they know in pronunciation when speaking or writing. Example: mother, by. Dog. The sentence is correct. Mother using O, by using U. Grandmother, biscuits, and etc. Grammar. Grammar is way to organize a sentence. Students choose the right words that are in their brain to be arranged into a sentence. Students have a few errors in the use of this, but there are some students in grammar. Almost all sentences contain error, because when the researcher came to school to explain the material, many male students did not listen, only want to record the material that the researcher wrote on the blackboard. When viewed from the result of interview with students, they explained that they did not like English lessons because it was difficult. They did not the meaning and had to find out the meaning. Vocabulary. Vocabulary is selection of the right words develop and show idea. The vocabulary students in a range student is very limited. Lack of vocabulary which causes students to find it difficult to write. They understand and they can conclusion, the more students have difficulty learning English lesson, especially in writing. Students have difficulty in translating grammar and vocabulary. They feel confused about finding the right sentence and do not know the meaning. Then the most students have limited vocabulary factors that are caused by difficulty of student learning English lesson. There are students who do not like to review material and have minimal curiosity. When they encounter difficulties, they do not try to find out from other sources. They prefer to cheat on friends. Thank you. Sorry for mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.